the Nastycollective podcast. Yeah, I said the Nastycollective podcast. What we talking about? Welcome back to the Nastycollective podcast. We're in here with Del Sol, man. Let me get a little introduction on who you guys are. Give the people y'all's names, you know? Say what's up.
I'm Ramon Gonzalez, CEO of the company. Alongside me is the homeboy.
Javi Torres. I'm the co-owner, COO, or whatever you want to call it.
So y'all like a tag team partnership in this kind of like field.
Yeah, there's four of us total.
There's four.
Yeah, but we're like, I guess two faces, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the other two? Who's the other two?
We got Yuli Jimenez, and we got Tuan NGO.
Mm-hmm.
Yuli's our finance guy, and Tuan is our tech guy.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So how far into the business did you guys need to like require another two people, or like was it just you two at first, or did you guys all four start that?
It was from the jump.
Yeah, just out the gate.
Really?
Yeah.
Because we originally like had the idea, and then when I at first kind of came up with it, I was like, I know I can't figure it all out by myself. You know? So then I got these guys involved because, I mean, this dude's really good with business. My buddy Yuli's good with numbers, and then Tuan, like that guy excels when it comes to tech. So you know, like it's a full team, and it's been working out.
It's a motherfucking collective, is what it is.
Yeah, it is.
No, but that's cool as fuck. I even had that same idea like with myself, but some of the factors that I would face like working with people is that like you guys don't always see eye to eye.
Yeah.
Especially like when you're trying to like either be the boss or when you're trying to like. They say like, hey, this isn't up for discussion. Or, like, this is what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you guys have any issues like that? Do you guys run into like anything with the four group?
Nothing like drastic where it's like.
I guess everybody has their own position. Right?
Yeah. Every like
makes sense.
It's almost like it's pretty much a 25 split like across all four people. You know?
Wow.
So everybody's got a say in everything. So everybody does their part too. For the most part. So
I did want to go ahead and give you guys a one-on-one interview because we out here on the podcast and we ain't got much equipment to to cooperate with everybody. So we're gonna go ahead and kick Ramon out really quick, and then we'll bring you right back. All right. So let's get that cut real quick and cut. All right, Javi, got you solo dolo in here. All right. So tell me a little bit about like what your position is at you guys' company, though. So
so I handle a lot of the like social media stuff. Like I also handle a lot of the bookings, keeping up with clients, trying to grow the brand more. See, just a lot of the operational stuff as well.
Talking on that, like I seen you guys' ad floating around too.
Yeah.
On Facebook and stuff.
Yeah, that was dope. I actually ran into some people on public that recognized me from the ad, and I thought that was dope as fuck.
Is that like one of your methods of like reaching out, letting people know who Desol is? Like,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I like to, like I said, I just want to have it be a brand, and I want everybody to know it.
What's some like tips on like marketing skills on like that? Like even like myself, you know, I'm over here trying to do this podcast stuff, and I mean it benefits both of us, kind of 50-50, where it's like I get the content, but you guys also get the shout out a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's like, as far as like doing like reels on TikTok or like Instagram, what are kind of like the methods to like getting yourself out there in the social media world right now?
For sure. That we haven't dabbled too much in TikTok or Instagram reels yet, but Facebook, what I notice is it's kind of a double-edged sword, but if you throw money at it, like I don't know if you have like a Facebook like a business page per se, but if you throw money at it, that's the best way to get eyes on it, and then obviously tell your friends about it, and your friends share it, that the word gets out. You know.
Yeah. I feel like my Facebook page is dead as fuck. That shit RIP'd completely. I have like my Instagram and stuff, but like whenever I go on my Facebook like page, it's like gone, dude. And I've been seeing like people like Brandon Hackey and all them have people like commenting all over their
Brandon Hackey's
shout
Facebook
out Brandon too.
Yeah, shout out to him. Yeah,
he's a Facebook like he really blew up off of Facebook. You know, like you don't really see him on anything else too much.
You know, one thing I noticed too. Facebook is more for like that traditional clientele, older people. Instagram is more folks. Like people our age, you know. So, like if I look through the list of people who like us on Facebook, it's a lot of like, 40 plus older people. You know, not old people, but older people than us.
Yeah, because everybody has a Facebook. They just don't use it like that.
Instagram is all creatives. There's more creatives on Instagram, is what I'm noticing. And I haven't really dabbled too much on Twitter yet.
So how are you guys doing on Instagram?
So far so good. Not as many likes as Facebook, but Instagram, I feel like we get more traction on our posts than we do on Facebook. You
feel like it's more like, so like when you guys pay for the promotion almost on Facebook, do you feel like the Instagram promotion is almost like organic, or does it come with the Facebook promotion?
That I don't know the direct answer, but I think when you pay on Facebook, it also makes it on Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I mean, they're all
connected on Meta or whatever it's called.
That makes sense. Damn. Yeah, because I haven't like really dabbled into too much marketing myself, and I feel like that's the game for this social media thing. You know, it's like if you can really spread your word, if you can spread your like name out there, at a certain point, it kind of doesn't even matter what the product is.
Exactly. And nowadays, like, I mean, we haven't blown up per se, but nowadays I feel like it's easier to blow up.
Yeah.
You know, you're seeing so many more social media celebrities or like have you seen Hasbullah, the little guy?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, that guy's hilarious. But
yeah, shout out that guy.
Yeah, I don't know if you're into UFC or not, but
I'm a little
bit. Yeah, he's at one of the cards and that card blew up, bro. Everybody's like, oh, Hasbullah's there. Hasbullah. Yeah, he didn't fight, but he was there. Like he was just there watching.
Okay.
Yeah, and you met with Dana White and everything. It was
because I thought he was supposed to fight like.
He was supposed to fight that other little guy, but he didn't.
Oh man. Yeah, I feel like that fool always out here on some social media just talking straight up just on the camera, you know? Yeah. I'm pretty sure he gets paid for them views.
For sure.
I doubt he's not. So, like, going into this company right now, like how you said, like, getting that popularity, getting that, like, connections with people, how does it feel from, like, doing... I mean, I'm not... What did you do before, like, Del Sol?
I worked at Verizon. I'm still there.
So then how does it feel now that, like, people are coming up to you and not just, like... You know, you're just not the homie anymore. You're kind of a part of a company where it's like they associate you with Del Sol. Do anybody that come up to you and be like, "Yo, what's up?" You know, like
like recognizing me from Del Sol. Not so much like homies, but like I guess I run into people and like they'll ask me about the process a little bit, but it's not as much yet, you know. Like, but like I said, some people recognize me out public, but those are just random people that recognize me from that.
And how do you feel about that?
I thought that was cool.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was dope.
Social media out here.
Yeah.
Sometimes that shit gets crazy, man. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I know.
I have my little share of that shit, too.
Yeah, I know one time, like, right when Del Sol started, Ramon got recognized at Midbell, and I thought that was cool to hear that.
Oh, wow.
At Midbell, Ray's Midbell, shout out to them.
That's that music place, right?
Yeah, yep, over in Morningside.
So then, you guys growing this company, how is it going? How long have you guys been established for?
We've been established since November.
Oh, damn.
We've been open for business since March, so only 3 months.
So what was it from November to March? What was that grind there?
That was trying to find a place for the studio.
Right.
Trying to get funding. Trying to work at everybody's position. Trying to get social media started.
Yeah.
Trying to come up with a logo. Just trying to get our footing. You know, like... That stuff doesn't happen overnight, you know. Even with like I feel like Del Sol, we have a team, but even with that, it still doesn't happen overnight. You know, there's so much like all right, we get somebody to make our logo, they come up with 5 different concepts. We don't like that one, adjust it. You know that was like a month process right there in itself. You know?
Really?
Yeah, and then
did you guys go through a couple people?
No, we went through one guy.
Okay. Just revisions.
Yeah, he came up with a few different concepts. We told them kind of like our general idea of what we wanted, and then he came up with 5 different concepts, and then we picked one. We picked the Del Sol logo, and then from there we're like, all right, we want the little it's like a little line, but we wanted that not as thick, a little bit lighter. Right. We wanted a transparent logo. We wanted a colored logo, because on the road we want to be able to I want like a Mexican flag like in the Del Sol logo, and then drop some merch for that. I think that would be dope. Which
I that's one thing about the logo is that it's very Mexican. Like, you know, like I do see it and I do think like Hispanic. Yeah. It's not just like it's Spanish, you know, the freaking word itself, but it's like it does the aesthetic does like incorporate together very nicely.
For sure, yeah.
So I really shout out to y'all for that logo.
Yeah, thanks.
And like me being a guy that is doing all this shit alone, I see that and I can like really appreciate something like that. It's like the logo itself is like how you said it takes months, you know? So it's like the fact that you guys took the time and didn't just push some shit out, like some clip art shit, you know?
Right.
That was cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Taking your time, you actually give a fuck about your business, you know?
Yeah, everything's calculated, you know? And I know, like, I thought it was so funny, but when we first came up with the logo, I had it on my iPad. And I'm showing just like random customers at Verizon. I'm like, hey, what do you think of this? Oh, really? Just the responses are funny, but somebody's like, I'm like, what's your first thought on this logo? And they're like, oh, Mexican restaurant. And I'm like, okay, bet. You know,
that's cool.
I thought that was funny, but yeah, like, but that's the thing. Yeah. We like 3 out of the 4 owners were Mexican. You know, we're proud of that. Tuan, he's Vietnamese, but Yeah, his wife's Mexican.
Yeah, might as well be Mexican at this point.
Yeah, right, right. So yeah,
what's that process of working with everybody? How you feeling now? Because this is a new era for you, right? Like this, you never done something like this, or?
Not really. I mean, I like my past job, or I guess my current job with Verizon. Like, there's a lot of community outreach, but it's different. You're working with business owners. Here, you're working with creatives, but you're still working with people.
So that like communication from that job, from the Verizon job, like that people skills, it did transfer over.
It helps so much.
Yeah,
it helps so much. Like you learn how to talk to people way easier. And
yeah, I heard one time one of my bosses told me that he's like, I understand you got a lot to go for. Like you have a long journey of like videography to go, but the fact that you have these people skills means that you're already ahead of the curve almost. You know?
Yeah, that helps so much. Like,
yeah, because if you're a natural speaker like that will get you them connections and that will seal the deal sometimes.
And, it makes you more likable too.
Yeah.
If you're like shy and timid, it's nothing wrong with that, but you want to network, and we were having that conversation off camera.
Yeah, exactly.
Like networking, like that's everything.
How have the clients been that you guys have been getting recently?
We've had some dope clients. We've worked with Sam I Am. Shout out to him. Sam. Shout out to Sam. We recently worked with Alvin Jones.
Oh, really? On that new album?
Yeah, not in his new album, but we worked on some independent stuff for him.
Shout out Alvin?
Yeah, Alvin. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like networking and getting people to work together.
Yeah. So what does that mean to you, networking and getting people together?
Like, I always kind of felt like everything like is like a competition in the past, but like if somebody is doing the same thing as you, like like, oh, like dude, like you're butting heads, but no, I feel like nowadays like everybody's just like, if they're friendly, like and everybody works together, like that's just that much better, like
I forgot who said it, but sorry for misquoting anybody, but I heard comparison is the thief of joy. So when you compare yourself to somebody, it really does take like whatever you're doing, whatever you're trying to be good at, and it just dumps it down to where it's like, oh, I'm better than him,
Yeah.
And at that point, it's like, are you trying to like boost your ego, or are you trying to like get some work done,
Right.
So that is cool to hear somebody say that, because to be honest, here in my experience in Sioux City hasn't been too well, because it's like a lot of people are on their ego shit.
Preying on your downfall almost.
So it's like, it's kind of hard to work with people, especially when they don't want to pay you either.
Right.
Because time is money, man.
Time is money,
like, shit, we out here trying as much as a rapper tries for his bars, like we try for our video, you know what I mean?
Right.
And for our audio, and exactly how you guys do your thing. And it's like, I feel like nowadays, a lot of people are like starting to realize that like what creatives do and what they can offer you.
Yeah.
And then now it's like, if you have money and you're a rapper and you go about your way of like, I'm gonna pay this guy, and this guy, and this guy to do this, that album is gonna be fire.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Because the more people, the more like connection, the more tools you have. And I treat money as a tool. So it's like, the more tools you have, the more credibility your album or single will have,
Right. Yeah, and like, I don't know, I almost feel like sometimes there's too much animosity, but forget all that, like at the end of the day, we're all people, why not be friendly and why not work together?
Yeah, that's true.
I saw a post somebody did on Facebook, I don't know the guy or anything, but it was something along the lines of that, where like he was saying Sioux City, it's hard to grow. A bunch of people are hating on you, preying on your downfall, and I can't quote the post. I don't remember.
I think I seen it because it's something like it was saying like rap and hip hop aren't the only genres. Right. It's like there's other people, but they get shamed on there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Speaking of genres and switching things up, Reno, he's kind of like a rapper, but I wouldn't even consider him a rapper. He's more of like an artist. I'm not exactly sure what genre he is, but I know it's like different from like what most people do here. One time I like told him to come through, be on the show that I was throwing, this little event. Yeah. He said, my music probably isn't the same kind of vibe you're going for. And that right there told me that like there's already some judgment in his head about like the kind of music he makes, even though I think he's fire as fuck. Right. But it's like, I could see that, that like some people wouldn't want to hear something like that,
Doubt,
Yeah, because he has more of like some melodic like vibe kind of music, with like some hard fucking raps and shit. Because if you ever seen Reno, dude, he can rap his ass off.
Okay.
So it's like when he makes this like soft melodic kind of thing, he's literally like going into like every chorus and like playing the fucking guitar, playing the piano, shit like that, you know?
That's talent.
When someone hears it, they're like, oh, this ain't my vibe. Yeah. But it's like, homie, this dude spent fucking,
he spent so much time on it, probably, you know?
So it's like, now that you can actually appreciate the art and, like, separate yourself from the ego side and then just see, like, the production and, like, the creativity side. Yeah. Because before this, did you really, like, look into audio, into music?
I did a little bit, not as much as Ramon, but I did. Yeah, like, but I never really, like, understood the process like step by step until recently, you know. And
because like when I was doing video, I think it was like I started doing videos and then I'm noticing on the big screen where it's like, oh dang, that shot was like so clean, you know, that shot was fire. Like
you appreciate it
that
more
with music.
Yeah, well, yeah, you appreciate it more, you know. Like you go back and listen to it and you're like, dude, the way that was mixed is badass, you know, or like the way they like just the way certain instruments sound. Yeah. Or, like I know recently I was listening to Donda 2. You know, Kanye, I was listening to that, and we were listening to it at the studio, and, like, the way we have our setup is, you know, it's professional, but I was listening to it on that, I'm like, dude, like, this sounds dope, you know? Like, or, like, you just go back and listen to it, like, in, like, more of a professional setting, or, like, with those speakers, you realize, like, you just realize certain stuff that you don't realize ever before, you know? Yeah. And you just appreciate it, you know? No, exactly. Like, there's so much time that you put in, like, just recording music. It's not just going in there and just rapping, but you could, like, shout out to all the audio engineers out there, you know? Like, that stuff is, like, I've sat with Ramon, you know, and I sat with him and I've tried to learn it with him, but that's meticulous work. It's a meticulous, dude. And like,
it's a career, man.
It's a career, yeah.
And like, yeah, you need college sometimes, but it's like if you're gonna do it alone, you grind your ass off, you know. It's like nitty gritty. Like, let me figure out every detail because no one else is telling me this shit,
right?
You know, so it's like all the information you can get for yourself is literally like the best thing you can do.
Yeah, and it's always like, I mean, when I'm like. Everybody knows it, but it's always good knowing more, you know? Yeah, exactly. Like learning more and just like...
Definitely.
That's what I say, making connections, you know? Like, you can meet somebody, like, you might have your craft perfect, but you meet somebody else that does the same thing, but they do it differently. You guys learn off of each other, you know?
Yeah. And speaking of that, what's to expect from you? Like, what's to expect from Javi? Is it like you're more of like the group organization of Del Sol? Like, what's the future looking like for you?
Yeah. We don't have the future planned out yet, but... Yeah. But yeah, and just
day-to-day guy.
Day-to-day, yeah.
That's what's up.
My thing is, like, I want to get out there a little bit more and get the name out. Go to these events. We're working on some merch.
Fire.
Yeah, with just the Del Sol logo, but I want to get some more shirts on, get some more advertisement. I just want to keep networking, keep meeting and working with people.
That's cool that you're trying to push it out, like heavy too. Yeah. Like you're like, it's cool to have somebody strictly for like marketing purposes, you know? Yeah. Because that side gets like overplayed or like, I guess downplayed actually, like too much, where it's like nobody's like right now. If you look at Britain, if you look at Kessel, shout out to Kessel. Like, if you look at all these guys, they're grinding on this TikTok shit. You know, they're grinding, putting hella videos. I don't even know what they're making half of the time, but they're just putting this shit out, and it's for views. You can tell like that they're like really marketing their name for sure. So they have cool shit. I'm not saying they're not creative as fuck. They got some cool ass shit, but it's like. They're pushing all this content out to hopefully get some views back, you know? Right. So the fact of like marketing is like, I would say a way up there, yeah. Dude, it's maybe even better or maybe even more important than the product itself.
Yeah, yeah, because if you're working, you know, and like you don't have any marketing, nobody's gonna know you're working. Yeah. You know?
The big one I try to use is word of mouth.
For sure, yeah.
That's like my biggest thing, but... I mean, shit, you know, I could be making TikToks too, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah, a lot of our clients are all word of mouth.
Yeah. And then that's what's up, man.
Then you realize that Sioux City's big, but it's not that big. Because then you realize a lot of people know each other, and that's great, you know? Like, yeah. Like, as much people as we can get into a studio, that's what we want, you know?
That's what's up. And what about a last message to, like, the little people looking at you out here and being like, damn, you know, I want to do some shit like that. I want to maybe do some marketing out here. Yeah. Give them a little message. That's all I got to say.
Keep grinding, you know? Oh, yeah. Keep grinding, don't stop. People tell you it's not going to happen, just keep doing it, you know? Like, we're still in that phase where I feel like we're grinding, but we haven't stopped. We keep going.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Fuck yeah. And that, I'm going to go ahead and bring Ramon out here, and we talk to him a little bit. So, hell yeah, Javi, appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, Ramon, CEO, I see you of Del Sol.
Yeah, you know how it goes.
Tell me a little bit about yourself, man. How you doing?
Pretty good, yeah. Just been grinding, making sure that the business is staying afloat, trying to work with a lot of creatives recently. Yeah. And just get this thing going, you know.
So let's talk about this business then. Yeah. When did it start, man? Why Del Sol? Why even start something like this?
Yeah, kind of like we have always like loved music, like the whole group, you know, as a collective. We've always thought that that's really like the universal language. Like everybody loves music, you know, no matter where you come from, what background you got, you always have your favorite artist, your favorite anything, you know. So
definitely.
That was always like a big passion of mine. I know Javi and I in college, we watched that movie Straight Outta Compton, and that was like just a huge thing that kind of set us up where we were like, you know what, they did it with the little that they got, you know, why can't we do something like that, you know? So it's just kind of been the name kind of came to me in like a dream, kind of.
Really?
Like, it was a kind of a weird thing, but where it's more of like a play on words, where you say del sol, you know, and you say it like with that Hispanic accent, and it makes you think like of the sun, so like very radiant. But then we decided to spell soul as in like the human soul, you know, because everything that we do, we want it to be truly from that creative standpoint, from your heart and soul, you know. So that's kind of where that name came through and everything. Yeah, so it's like it's a bit of a play on words and everything, but I think it radiates good energy, you know, and makes it pretty creative. So
hell yeah! Don't ask me about Nasty, bro. I don't even know what the fuck.
Yeah,
your shit sounded so much better. Don't even ask me. But hey, that shit sounded cool as fuck though.
Yeah.
So Del Sol, huh? And then like, what? How's your feeling about it now? Like, you know, you did 4 months of starting this up?
Yeah,
Since
I mean,
December.
There's definitely a lot more business side of things that need to get kind of taken care of first. Which, you know, that's why I thank God that I've got such a good team with me, you know, like, cause I definitely would not be able to do it alone. But yeah, there's a lot more that goes into it than, you know, you would think. But, I think having a clear, hungry mindset, you know, and making sure that you're covering your tracks and making sure that everything is taken care of, you know, that really puts you forward and really helps you excel in business. So it's been a lot more than I thought it was going to be, but I mean, you know, we're grinding and it's been fun. So,
have you ever been in like a manager position or like an owner of something besides Del Sol?
I mean, when we were younger, we had a lawnmowing business, you know? Yeah. Hey, so yeah, we did that for a bit, you know, kind of being our own little bosses. I guess that was the first taste of it, but, yeah, no, this is new for me. It's a new experience, but it's been great.
So how is it being the boss now? How is it like, you know, your word comes last, you know what I mean? And whatever you say, it's like, you know?
I definitely don't try to, like, you know, let it get to me. I don't, you know, I love my guys, you know, and I respect and I, you know, truly take everything they say into consideration.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I guess I do have the final say, but if we're not all on the same page and we're not all in agreement with something, then I'm not gonna, you know, make the final word, you know,
right?
Because I like to make sure that my team is comfortable with everything. So I mean, I do have the final say, but if we're not all clicking on the same thing, then, you know, I'm gonna wait and be patient till we all are. So
how'd you bring the whole gang together? How did everybody come about this?
Yeah, Javi, I've known him since I was like 6, you know. So we've been best friends forever.
Yeah, childhood friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
And then we've always just like had this kind of hustler mentality. When we were younger, we used to, you know, mow yards to go buy burritos a la Juanitas.
Oh wow.
You know, when they used to be $5.
Okay.
Yeah, we miss those days.
Yeah, for real. Juanita's fucking up for real. Every order they be fucking up. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes.
Hey, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. But yeah, you know, so we've always, like I said, had that hustler mentality and everything, and we've always known that we wanted to have a business and kind of do something a little more than just a standard 9 to 5, you know. And then Yuli, same, he's a childhood friend of ours as well, and that dude really excels with numbers. He's super smart, really got a very open mind for things, you know, and he's very very driven, you know, and he doesn't really sway from what he believes, which is really nice to have somebody on the team like that. And then Tuan, we've known him since we started working at Walmart, like way back in high school. Yeah, and he's been doing IT forever, and that dude is a genius when it comes to that, you know. Damn. Yeah, so I mean, he's good at building computers, like taking you know, software off, putting software on, putting everything together. Like, he's crazy. So I mean, yeah, the team, it all kind of just is a big collective, but you know, when we were getting started, I was like, I need a guy for this, I need a guy for that. And I had everybody already. So it was just a matter of pitching the idea, having everybody be cool with it, and then we just hit the ground running.
Because you got, okay, so Del Sol is an audio company, or is it just, so it is an audio company.
Yeah.
But then you also have, you have audio, you have IT.
Yep.
And then what else do you have?
We try to dabble in photography and videography, but then we have guys like you and like Javi was saying, we're really big on building a good like repertoire with everybody. Yeah, we've been kind of going through Christian recently just for a lot of our videos.
Mobius
videos, yeah, and then we know you do photography as well. So when we get gigs like that, you'll probably hear from us. Because we try to dabble in it. We're not really that great at it, but we know people who are good at it. So we're gonna be helping out other businesses as well, because at the end of the day, it's all collective. Everybody's grinding together, so might as well have it all be a big team effort.
One guy that does audio as well, or mix and mastering, Dylan Foote. So shout out Dylan Foote. Sometimes he be having like an artist and he'll be like, yo, Nasty, like this guy needs a music video, let me know. We'll let him know the prices, whatever, I have yet to like complete one of those transactions, but it's really cool the fact that like even my name gets brought up in that conversation, exactly. So like I really do appreciate that, and like that is really cool to have some of the guys that like do mix and master like think about, hey, who's gonna make that video.
And we do that too. I mean, we like I said, we just we have a good relationship with Christian. I've known him since college, so that's where I kind of met him at. So that was a little easier for me when I started thinking, I need a video person. I know this guy.
And he's pretty fire. He's pretty fire on the camera.
He's pretty good at what he does. But I mean, we're all about networking and helping everybody build together. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all running this business, trying to get our name out there. So why not help each other? So that's a big thing we push. Yeah.
One thing about my business is that it's kind of hard to like push another videographer because it's like you're pushing somebody else that does exactly what you do. So it's kind of like it's like a love-hate relationship almost, where it's like I'll push you, I'll help you out. But how much can I do before I like completely
start sacrificing your own
start time, sacrificing my own time, my own clients, my own like almost reputation in a way,
it's
so it's like a very, very tight line.
There's a fine line.
Exactly.
We have been working with a lot of clients that have worked with Dylan in the past.
Right.
I've yet to meet Dylan, but everything I've heard about him has been great. So that's kind of one of those situations where I'm like, oh man, I feel a little bad, like kind of taking these people away from him. But I'm sure he'll be cool with it. We haven't sat down together yet, but when we do, maybe you have something to say about it. But,
he always be having like clients. I always be hearing about him.
It's all love, and I've heard what he does, and he's really good at what he does. So at this point, this is when I finally do get to meet him. It'll be more or less from the eyes of a student, because he's been doing it longer than I have, and I really want to learn what he knows, So.
And that's cool that you're not like, I'm about to take over this shit, you know what I mean? Like, nah, you straight up like, hey man, I'm gonna try to be humble down and like, I'm gonna just take everything you guys show me,
Yeah, because I've heard what he's done, and I listened to it and I'm like, I don't know exactly how to recreate that one thing. So it'd be really cool to learn. He's been doing it for a long time too. So, I mean, and he's pretty solidified where he's at. His name gets brought up all the time, and from my standpoint, I more or less look to it like, how could I do that? How could I be brought up every single time, So that'd be great to learn from him.
Yeah, and it's cool that you're like observing and then putting to use what that knowledge you just observed is, Because some people like, they get the game, but then it's like, all right, let me let that shit go, So that's like the biggest issue that people be having is like, you get what you're supposed to be doing, you get how to be a business or how to be alone and like run this shit, but then you get tired out and like you're like, nah, I'm okay now, or like just let it fly by you, and it's like you guys are really taking it by the horns and like really trying out here, So I thought that was really fucking cool. You guys have a studio downtown?
Yes, in the Francis building. We're on the second floor. Suite 250. So
how has that been going for y'all?
It's pretty nice, I'm actually genuinely surprised that like nobody's ever complained about us, which has been pretty cool.
Because of music, because it's loud.
Yeah, it gets really loud.
Oh, okay.
And we've got 4 Cali Audio AP6s. Those are pretty big speakers already. They're about that big, and we have a 12-inch subwoofer on the ground right there.
Wow.
It's sitting on a pad, so when it like bumps, it doesn't shake too hard. But I mean, we get in there, we get the music going, and like the place is literally bumping, and it's like physically shaking, and like. We've been in there till like 2, 3, 4 in the morning, sometimes. And then even during the day, during business hours, like 2 or 3 in the afternoon. And so far, nobody said anything. So, I mean, like, it's been a blessing that we can be as loud as we are. And, we're still able to keep that spot,
Right.
So.
And you're saying a lot of equipment right now. I'm not sure what the fuck any of that shit is, but I know it sounds expensive.
Yeah.
So, like, how did you guys go about that? Was it like you guys saved money up, or is it you guys went and got investors? Or like, how was it?
So it's all...
If you want to share some game.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's all personal money, I guess, like personal investment. you know, we knew that starting a business was not going to be a cheap endeavor, you know, but like I said, we have a really good team and everybody believes in what we do, you know, so everybody was more inclined to putting in that dollar, you know, to it, because I think at the end of the day, if you just sit back and look at it as a business, you're thinking, oh, why am I going to invest this money if I'm only going to be making this much out, kind of thing. But when you really believe in the project and really believe in each other and what, you know, we have to offer, the dollar amount kind of goes away. You know, it's more or less you love what you do. You know, you're going to love the product that you're putting out. You know, you're loving what you stand for. You're loving the brand and everything. So yeah, it was all personal investment. But, you know, like I said, we all believe in the goal. So I know we'll make it back at some point. You know, I'm not too worried about it. You know, it's been the experience too. And you can't put a dollar amount on, you know, how you feel about your business. You can't put a dollar amount on like the love and the experiences that you share with your crew, you know? So, I mean, it's been so
good. From taking all that in, where are you guys seeing yourself from the future? Where is Del Sol heading to? Or like, how do you want to see this company rise?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I want to be, you know, just a studio engineer and be working with some big names. That'd be really cool. Right. We really do see Del Sol as like a brand, so that'd be really cool. You know, eventually really get the merch going, and you know, I want at some point, you know, you're thinking, oh, Adidas, Nike, you know, and everything. Like you think Del Sol, you know, kind of thing. You know, where we really are trying to build it as a brand, you know, more than anything. But eventually down the road, someday maybe I'll have like my own nice home studio or something, like all the big guys got it, you know. But for now I'm just gonna be humble, you know, work with what I've got, which is more than I can expect to kind of just hit the ground running. And
especially like seeing you guys out here, I don't really see too many like audio engineers out here. I think it's you, Foot, and then AMX's, but they're like in Sioux Falls. Shout out AMX's, but What kind of knowledge, what kind of game can you put on for like the homie that's looking at you right now, those homies that's looking at the podcast and want to see like, shit, that sounds dope as fuck. Yeah. What can you tell the little homie to bring them up, and like what kind of game can you drop right now? Basically your final statements for these guys.
Yeah, it's always have a dream and don't stop dreaming, you know. I think sometimes we get too wrapped up in our day-to-day lives, or like, oh, I'm stressed, I owe money here, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, you know. As long as you have this clear-cut dream and, you know, you're enjoying the experience of what life is, you know, and as far as like the audio goes, I mean, like, there's always something you can do that's really cool that maybe somebody else doesn't know, you know, or maybe you hear your favorite song and like me, you say, wow, you know, that song's amazing, but how did they get there? You know, like learn to pick things apart and learn to be a true student, you know, learn from other people, you know, don't let like your ego get in the way of knowledge. You know, that's a big thing. But stay true to who you are. Learn to love what you do, and like, you know, at the end of the day, just stay happy. You know.
And with that being said, it's been Javi, Ramon with Del Sol, Nastycollective podcast. Appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Yeah.
Doses.
Thank you.
We out.